Hey everyone, this is Ren from Strong Girls Knits, and I am back. I'm not sure if this video will be released before my pumpkin review video, but yeah, I just kind of had gotten a little discouraged, and this just wasn't as fun, and so I had taken a break. I can't even think how long it's been, so apologies to that, but I don't know, I'm just, my little pumpkin series has me, I don't know, excited to record again. I actually built myself this new backdrop frame, and this is actually just some fabric I put over. It is some shiny pink, what do you call it, sweatshirt fabric. I'm actually gonna make some sweatpants out of this. But until then, it is my nice backdrop. Okay, that was a little oopsie, but it's okay. Anyways, as I was saying, new backdrop, everything. So I don't know, I feel like this setup is gonna look nicer. I'm excited about it, and it's something that I can get good natural lighting. I don't have to, because my problem was either to spend quite a bit on some good lighting, which would take forever to set up and whatnot, or find a way to use natural lighting and have a background that I was happy with, because this is in my bedroom. My bedroom is not clean 100% of the time, and just, I don't know, you don't need to see my bed and all kinds of stuff, and I don't think you really want to. So anyways, let's talk about knitting. Shut up about other stuff. Anyways, I have gotten quite a bit of knitting done. This is a little by the seam, so I haven't gathered everything that I've knit, but I had enough to show and whatnot. So anyways, I have been kind of on this kick to try and knit as much as I can for gifts this year, and just kind of definitely shop from my stash, because we have kind of some financial things that I haven't been wanting to just go and spend, you know, money on. I don't want to say frivolous things, but I have plenty of a stash that I can shop from. So not that I haven't shopped a little, but keeping it much closer in. Anyways, this is Premier's yarn. It is, I forgot what this is, I will put it down and below, but I had knit 2 at a time, these, and I believe they're going to be for my mom, depends on the fit. And I don't know, I really like this yarn. I love Premier's yarn that you can get for Joann's. I feel like it is great gift giving yarn to, you know, to knit something like socks for someone else. It's very hard wearing, and I feel like I just always have really good results with it, especially on wear. My husband and my mother, who both have socks knit at that, and then I have a pair, of course, that I probably wear more than they do, knit out of that yarn, and it definitely holds up. So anyways, this is that. I think it's really pretty. I did not get it to match. Wait, I think I did. Now that I think about it, I think I almost did get them to be exactly. I don't know. Can't tell. Yeah, they're really close to being exact. Yeah, my friend Cheryl has to have it exactly perfect match. It drives her crazy. So that's why I feel like she probably really doesn't work with a lot of striping yarn because of that. But anyways, there's that. And then let me put this other one on the sock blocker. This is for my sister-in-law. This yarn, it's an old retired Lion brand yarn. It is super bright in this light. It's actually probably not as bright as it's coming off, but I call this that 70s sofa yarn, because well, she loves like this weird mustard color that it's like right here. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. It's not so bright, but she just, what is it called? She loves this mustard yellow, and she's like, yeah, it's like your like grandma's couch. And I'm like, yeah, it's just not that attractive. But someone had brought this to knit night, and they were like, oh, you know, I don't want this yarn or whatever. And I saw it, and I was like, my sister-in-law needs this. She needs a pair of socks out of these. And she only wanted like crew cuff or crew length socks, so I knit these up. And I did, which I didn't show on the other one, so this one I did a 6 gourd heel. So it's pretty much just like, I mean a toe, like with the hat, how you decrease, you just do the same on the toe, and you're supposed to draw it up just like a hat, but I actually get down to like, what did I do, a total of 8 stitches, so 4 on each needle, and then just Kitchener it together, because I feel like that Kitchener just provides a lot better closure. And then with this one, actually, that I didn't point out, I did a 4 gourd heel or toe. So just like a regular toe, but instead of coming in, I've got it, yeah, evenly spaced, just like a hat. So anyways, those are the two gift giving socks that I have made. And then this other pair, sorry, which it seems a little bigger on the sock blocker, so I'm going to try it on. It might actually be for a friend as well. I had intended to knit this for myself, but they seem a little big, so someone else might be getting these for Christmas. But this was, I went through all my scraps, everything, updated my blanket, which I should have brought that up. Didn't even think about my blanket. Cozy memory blanket. I will show that next time. And, but yeah, so I just went through all my scraps and I paired these two up and I was like, oh, I'll knit a pair of socks because I have this whole mentality right now, like I said, with I want to shop for my stash. But I just finished rereading or re-listening. I listened to the Harry Potter books 1 through 7 all on audiobook and just finished it up probably last month or the month before. Well, it would have been July was when I finished it up. Today is September the 2nd, so I'm still slightly in August. Anyways, I just paid attention way more to Molly Weasley this time. You know, that's one of the nice things when you reread books like that. You can definitely, like, you know what's going on, so then you start to pick up on all these other smaller things. And I feel like, you know, maybe if I reread them again for a third time, I would catch up on catch even more things. But Molly Weasley, you know, definitely kind of was drawn to her and came up with this idea of like Project Molly Weasley, in the sense that, you know, she didn't have a lot of money, especially raising, was it 7 boys? And no, Charlie, Bill, Percy, Fred and George, and Ron, and then Jenny. So 7 kids, trying to raise 7 kids, you know, and they just didn't have a lot of money and whatnot. But she always knit everyone something for Christmas, which is, again, kind of another thing as to why I'm trying to knit everything for Christmas. But I know I feel like she would not waste any of her yarn. Like, you bought it and you just don't want to waste it. So she would I feel like she would definitely make scrappy socks for everyone. Like, they might be more so for her and her husband. And I could almost see, like, Fred and George loving the scrappy socks more than, like, just a regular knit socks. And then, of course, in the movies, you see Ron has a blanket that is kind of like our scrappy memory blanket, but it's different. So, but anyways, that's where all of this came from. So I'm going to be knitting scrap socks, which on Instagram, they have a monster knit along going on right now. Pretty much the same thing, where you use all your scrap yarn to knit socks. So, anyways, I wanted to talk a bit more about this. So, I tried to do a fade right here, and I love fades actually, which I have another project I'm going to show in a minute, but, definitely after doing this, which it was kind of a pain in the rear because I did knit these 2 at a time, but I did not cut the balls into like 2 equal, like, so this yarn I kept all as one, and I kept this all as one, so I'm just working off of one ball, and when you're trying to do a fade where you're flipping like so closely, it gets all tangled up. It was so frustrating. So when I got up to here, I was like, I'm not doing another fade. It's just going to be a blunt change, which I feel like there's really not even that big of a difference. Like you can see a slight difference, but because there's pinks, they're both like a big pink base, you just don't really tell. So that was something I learned with fading. You definitely want to get something a little stronger impact. You want stronger difference between the socks. And which it was funny because I finished this, and on Instagram I saw someone had faded a sock, and they had it faded from a dark black, and like there was a dark black, or a black, a dark blue, and then a lighter blue, and then a white, and they had faded, you know, between, because it was 4 different skeins or something like that, and it was gorgeous. And I was like, yes, that is what I want. But oh well, you live and learn. That is the beauty of knitting. Anyways, so that is, I have 3 pairs of socks done. And then I decided to do a test knit for someone. And this is Annie Haas. It is This Bird Knits, I believe, on Instagram. I'll put this below. But she had the shawl, and it had a fade on it. And it also had a brioche, one color brioche border. And I decided, oh yeah, I'll test knit that. And there was something else going on, and anyways, I had a deadline. I met the deadline, and so proud of myself there. And met the deadline. Never had knit brioche in my life before. Had to learn that kind of on the fly, which once I got it, it was perfectly fine. Which, how the pattern was definitely written. It was a good pattern. There was, you know, a few little mistakes that we corrected, and she'll be releasing it hopefully soon. So she's going to release it sometime this month. But, excuse my little flyaway hair. How it was written, it was definitely, you need to understand what you're doing with brioche. I feel like it's a good beginner project. Like, I was reading it and I did exactly what I thought, not having experienced brioche, and it was messed up. It wasn't right. So I found this awesome video, Pink Knit, I believe is what it is. It was great with getting me going and whatnot. So, but anyways, without further ado, and I have not weaved in any of the ends. This is a me project. But there it is. There's that beautiful fade, and then that little brioche border, which is so, like, brioche is like very squishy, and oh yes. Anyway, so how this is you start from the center and you work your way out, and it is very much a, you just let it hang. It's a, I can't even think what it's called, but it's much more curved. It's not a true, in my mind, it's not true triangle because it's curved up so much. And this yarn I actually dyed myself at a local, what do you call it? One of our local yarn stores, City Knits in Boonville, Indiana. My lovely friend Sonia owns it, and she's really awesome. She's been doing a lot more classes, and it sucked because I have it, like, every time this class comes up, I'm like, oh yes, I want to do that, and then the closer we get to it, something with the kids comes up, or like something with work comes up, and I'm like, no, I want to do classes. But anyways, so I dyed this with her, and it was actually supposed to be like Mardi Gras colors, which you can see. And then, but when I was knitting it, especially with this, which at first, like, when I did this first one, it doesn't seem like it's a lot, but see how it's stronger when you have a more contrasting color when you're fading into it. But it definitely, like, to me, screams fall, and I cannot wait till it gets cold enough to wear this. I need to get a coat, and like just how this curve is, it wraps around the neck like perfectly. So I feel like I won't have to do a pin or anything because it'll just stay there. So, and it goes down just my belly button. So covers, it's a nice bib, covers your chest. So if you have definitely a nice coat that's more open, this would be perfect because you can have it where it covers the opening, so you're not getting that draft, or even kind of like tuck it in. So I really liked it. Love this pattern. It knit up really quick, like especially the smaller part. I just rip through this, and then, you know, you're getting more and more stitches. I cannot remember how many I finished. It has to be, it's got to be over 200 probably. I think it's over 300 actually by the time you bind off. But really good, and it was a good step in to brioche. So after doing it, I was like, yeah, I would like to check this out some more. I'd definitely be open to trying other brioche. So that is everything I have finished right now. I'm working on a sweater of my husband's, which it's huge. I didn't drag it out, but I will show that next time. And then this is like what I've been carrying around because I just finished. These socks were the ones that I finished last, and I did these toe up, by the way. The other ones were all cuffed down, but I did these toe up. And that's why toe up, I actually just taught, my best friend and I taught a class just to get people going on toe up, and then we're doing a follow-up class to like turn the heel. But I do have a little bit of trouble with fit sometimes with toe up, so that is kind of why I've been doing more toe up. So other people might be getting Christmas socks because I'm trying to perfect the fit. So, but here's another toe up socks. And this is probably going to be, or most likely will be, a gift knit as well. So these are toe up. I actually just started to increase the gusset. I started these Thursday afternoon. Today is Sunday. I've gotten pretty far on them, so I'm happy with them. This was someone else's D-Stash yarn that I took. It is DK Weight. It is a German brand, and I can't remember exactly what it was, and the paper has left my little bag. So, but yeah, I don't know, like, I like them, and then sometimes I don't like the color. I don't know, it's weird. My sister-in-law loves these, but and I really hope who they're for loves them as well. But they're, I don't know, like, I like them. They have this patriotic fall vibe, if that even makes sense. Like, I'm obsessed with fall right now. I love fall. But anyways, it's just, I don't know. And there's no way to get these matched up because I don't even think, are they? No, they're not. Because I keep looking for like similar, like here's the similarity right here, but I don't see that similarity anywhere else in the pattern. So, or maybe, maybe. Yeah, that looks like, okay, so it looks like it's starting to repeat. Sometimes when you just look at it, like through a photo or something else, you can notice patterns a lot easier. But I was not matching these up because actually on the tag it says you need 3 balls, and I only had 2 balls for socks. So these are going to be knit up until I'm done with the yarn. So, but yeah. Anyways, I'm super excited. They're moving quite quickly. I had an event I went to the other day and knit on these because I was there for quite some time and enjoyed it. But anyways, that is all the knitting. I don't really have any sewing, like nothing completed. The girls and I are going to the to Joann's later to get some patterns for Halloween costumes. So I have a fairy princess, a tiger, and Jimmy wants to be the Assassin's Creed guy, if anyone knows who that is. I only know because he plays the game and I see it. And then my middle daughter wants to be a creeper from Minecraft. So pretty much like this green stick with a block head and then like little block feet. That might be James actually making that costume, we'll see. But I am going to bring her with me and let her flip through the patterns and maybe see something. If she sees something else that she would want to be instead, then we can do that. But the nice thing is, at least 2 of those costumes that I mentioned, my mom, the fairy princess, my mom has all the old fabric from like my princessy costumes, and there's enough to make her one. And then my mom has like this tiger flannel that we might make Libby the tiger out of. So, because I don't think I don't want to do like faux fur costume for her. We'll see. We'll see what Joann's has. But there's that. I am almost done with a pair of sweatpants that I'm making from Tilly and the Buttons stretch, a new stretch book. And then I did finish a shirt. I don't think I have it hung up. Hold on. Okay, I actually do have it handy. I made this. It's just the basic t-shirt from Tilly's newest book. And this is sequence leopard print, if you can see it. And then just, I used leftover fabric I had of this. And it's actually, the fit is actually really nice. The sequence can get a little scratchy, not so much on the, sometimes a little on the inside, but sometimes like my arms against here, it scratches just a little bit. But I love this. I think it looks so cute, and I get a lot of compliments off of it. So, I really like that book. Excuse me. And, I don't know. That's really all my sewing right now. I am trying to work on a quilt, but that's slow going. I do have a set deadline for myself for that quilt, but we'll get there. That's really it. So if you guys want to mosey on, I'm gonna a little life blabber, but that's about it. So bye. Okay, so I can't even think really life stuff at the moment. Like I said, I'm doing the pumpkin review. It has been crazy this fall, or well, so Libby did soccer, but because she's old, she's started middle school, which that gave me a slight, it just makes me nervous, you know, when any of the kids move up. Like, I had nightmares when Jimmy went into 6th grade, because he has a slight stutter, and just, you know, people can just be awful, and like middle school always seems awful because, you know, no one it's just the time that kids are changing everything. They don't know what's going on, and I don't know. I feel like middle school is definitely is potential for like more viciousness, and but Libby joined, and she she's actually missing her 2 front adult teeth, an accident that happened years ago, and so we're trying to fix that and whatnot. But that was my big fear. But as of right now, everything seems fine. It's only been, it'll be a month next week, really, since they've started school, but everything seems fine. We had her in a local soccer program, which I ended up not liking. I actually played soccer since I was 5 all the way through high school, and then I coached, you know, I coached at least three years. My mother was a coach. She was the one that coached me, so a lot of soccer background, and I just did not like the program. I felt like we ended up paid like $200 just for soccer playtime. It wasn't really what we were expecting, what's kind of advertised. So unless she really wants to do it again and that's the only program we can find, we will not be returning to that place. But we found a local league, kind of county league, that's kind of like how mine was growing up back home. I grew up in a different county than where I live now, and the younger 2, they're on the same team. They seem to really enjoy it. It's not like, you know, super, like the place that we paid for Elizabeth, to me, should have been like actual kind of training, whereas this is more for fun. But my younger 2 seem to be learning more, and actually, I don't know, and it could just be a competitive thing. Libby may not just be that competitive or not really into soccer, but like my youngest one is vicious. She is vicious, and I love watching it. Like I used to coach kind of like kindergartners in 1st grade. My younger 2 are 2nd and 3rd grade, so they're like the next field up. But it's just fun because like you can definitely see the kids that have just this natural competitive streak in them, which I, you know, as long as you're not like a butthead about it, I always respect the like competitiveness. That is how I am. I will not deny that at all. But it's really fun to watch. And then Jimmy joined cross country again for his 2nd year, and he I don't think he's that competitive. He has goals, you know, to improve, but he's not the best runner. But I'm just glad he seems to really enjoy it. He's on a team. He seems to actually, you know, make more friends, or at least from how he talks, he has a pretty good group of friends, and he's always hanging out with the kids at the meets that we see. So just for that, like, I feel, and I don't want to just say just sports, I feel like, you know, clubs in general are always really great for kids. It's a way, I feel like it's a easier way to make friends, and it kind of, like, especially sports, when you put yourself in this competitive field, you build this bond, because like with soccer, we were always pretty close because, you know, we had to rely on each other. You know, you kind of had to have this like reading each other's mindset when you're playing. And anyways, I always love it. I will always encourage my kids to join sports and whatnot, and if they want to join other things, I will encourage it as well. May not understand what what the club is doing, but I will always be there for them. Other than that, life has been fine with me, just busy teaching classes, running around, being kid chauffeur, which is the life of a parent. And then my coworker that I actually didn't get along very well, I know that sounds awful, with where I work, it's me, another lab tech, and then we have our manager, and then we do have an intern. But as of right now, I do not have an intern, and my not so nice coworker left, and then we actually have a new one coming in, which is someone I know, so I'm happy. But I've been by myself for about 2 weeks now. I can do the job, but it's just kind of, it gets a little draining when you just do the same thing day after day, and there's like this quiet stress to it that, like, I can't be sick, I can't take vacation, like, and it sounds so silly, because I do enjoy, like, being by myself, especially since my last coworker I didn't enjoy, but it's just like this really quiet stress that you just don't realize you have until like the weekend hits, and then you sleep for like 12 hours and you're like, I did not realize I was that tired. But then, you know, of course, that quiet stress from work, and then add that on to just being a parent with kids and 4 different things and whatnot. So, but yeah, not so bad. I have the pumpkin review going on, so please check that out. Other than that, I'm just really glad to be back. I'm glad my setup and everything just looks better. Hopefully it starts cooling off. I hate this heat. It seems like as the years go by, I less a summer person, more of a winter person, but probably because winter clothes can be way more comfy than summer clothes. But I don't know. That's about it. So thank you for listening to me yammer on. Yeah, I'll see you guys another time. Bye.